What I'm saying, just reminded me of the other day. What I wrote on. What I wrote on. What I was thinking that I wrote, and it's funny because I was like, a funny goal to. Funny thing to always say. My primary goal is top 10 YouTuber in 10 years.
Yeah.
Now, and that's such a, I like the catchphrase, and it's so like, oh, top 10, top 10. Another interesting one, but this one is more funny than interesting, is to say my goal is to be the second biggest YouTuber of all time. Nobody ever claims tries to be second best in anything. Everybody's I want to be the best footballer ever. I want to be, and I'm like, to be interesting to say it that way because that's the truth.
Yeah.
I'm actually, but as I've analyzed Mr. Beast, and I don't want to be bigger than Mr. Beast because of how insanely difficult it is. I'm not willing to pay it.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see, can I be like second to Mr. Beast? It would be an interesting thing to be able to be parading myself even when I do it. And I'm like, my goal has always been to be the second biggest YouTuber of all time. And it's like, that's so funny. Nobody ever has said the second. Everybody acts like second is a crime.
It's a crime, yeah.
Like, what's wrong with being the second biggest YouTuber? That's huge. Like, why are we all acting like that's not crazy? It means the only person bigger than me is Mr. Beast. That's not bad, man. That's good. That the only person bigger. That's still, there's like 1 million creators and I'm the second. Why doesn't anybody try to be second? That's also very rewarding. Like, it's not only number 1 that is rewarding now. Number 2 is usually very rewarding. In fact, the whole top 10, usually top 50, sometimes it's even very rewarding. Why is everybody just trying to be either bigger than Mr. Beast, or then there's nothing to say? So I want to be the second biggest YouTuber in the world. And I'm like, that's a good way to be. I know deep down, the most valuable thing to me is to be top 10 in 10 years.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But it's just also like fun and interesting to say my goal is to become the second biggest YouTuber in the world. You understand? But like, I know in my mind, I don't care if I'm third, fourth, fifth at any point. As long as I'm top 10, that's the goal that I'm connected to.
Yes.
But I would like to be number 2. In that top 10, I'd like to be number 2. You understand?
Yeah.
But I don't mind anywhere. I don't mind anywhere in the top 10. The top 10 is the non-negotiable. I have to be top 10 in 10 years. I don't have any that I have to be. Now, in that 10, I'd like to be number 2. But I don't actually care if I'm number 3 or 4 or 5. But it would be interesting to set it as have be intentional about trying to be number 2. It's like, and then also just funny to say, my goal is to be the second biggest YouTuber in the world. It's like, what? I've never had that before. It's like, sounds like negative dream. It's okay, but like, it's not better than number 3, 4. It means the only person better than me is Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? That's insane. That's like every creator I'm going to be bigger than them. Only Mr. Beast. That's fucking insane. So that's kind of like the way I put it. I was like, that's my goal. My goal used to be I used to want to be the biggest YouTuber in the world. And then I decided, cool, blah, blah, blah. I actually don't care about being the biggest YouTuber. I just want to be as big as I want to be. Which kind of then is as big as Mr. Beast at the time.
Yeah.
And as Mr. Beast continues to scale and continue to set the standard, I'm like, that big that I want to be, turns out it's number 2.
Yeah.
That it is. So I'm not only okay with number 2, I want number 2. Because of like how it's like you become big by doing hard shit. It's okay, I don't want to do shit harder than Mr. Beast, but I would like to do shit harder than every other YouTuber.
Yeah.
And as hard as close to hard as Mr. Beast as possible.
Yeah.
While just being harder than every other person.
Yeah.
And then that would be an interesting rivalry to have when some people start to disrespect Mr. Beast and say I'm bigger. Or I'm better, I'm more creative or something, and just create that rivalry. And it's like, this J guy, and then the whole, just have people rallying around. Like, this, and then whenever you ask me, I'm like, I don't think I'm bigger. I think we're just like we're doing 2 different things, even though similar. And I don't know. I just think my perspective and his perspective is slightly different, even though it's very similar. Also, I don't really care about competition. I think he's huge. Also, he has more subscribers than me, so I don't even think it's a fair comparison to say. You can find videos, which this video is one of them, on the internet. I've always said it. My goal was to be the second biggest YouTuber, so I'm okay as number 2. But I'm not complacent, and I keep striving. And obviously, there are areas where I've outdone Mr. Beast and I've done things Mr. Beast has not done, but it does not matter at the end of the day. We're all creative. We just want to entertain. And so we're making money. We're both helping people. We're both passionate about helping people. So I feel like the winner is the people. They get entertained, and through our philanthropical act, lives are changed. So you guys are the biggest YouTubers in the world.